It is currently 5:30. We don't milk till 7. And yet, Wynona's going crazy. Okay guys, Kevin just got home from basketball because he's a professional basketball player. But all of the first fresheners are going completely insane because I addicted them to grain. I got them addicted.
They're just spoiled.
The problem is that Wynona screams like this, okay? She goes, ah! Ah! Like that, okay? That's the problem because Honey's tolerable because she's like, ah, 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 ah,
Yeah.
ah, ah. Okay, we can tolerate Honey. River is like, ah! Okay, we can handle that. And then who else is left? Oh, Reba's like really hoarse, so she's like, ah! All of that is tolerable, okay, except for that. Ah, 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 ah. Watch, I'll do it. Ah, ah. And then, but that's her quiet one. Watch, she'll do it loud. She goes, ah, like that. Like, have you seen the Taylor Swift compilation?
Oh yeah.
That she would win. So there's this thing that you do when you have first fresheners, and it's like you have to train them to the stand. And it's the biggest nightmare in the world because they kick and fight, and you just think to yourself, how can I make them stand still and learn to have their udder touched? And you think, I know, grain. But it makes them insane. Like, they get so addicted to it. These first fresheners are just like, they've rarely had grain before, and so now they're just like, yes!
Now they don't want to eat hay at all. They're just like, only grain.
But I created it. I need to remember to not do this every single year. It's not even, you're not even being milked because you're feeding your babies. So it's just the grain. That's all you want.
Yeah, just grain.
The reason I can't just give Wynona tons of grain is because it's not good for goats. They bloat on it. They primarily need to eat hay. Like Daphne. See Daphne back here? She's doing what she's supposed to do. She's 3 years old. She knows the routine. But these young ones, they're just like, give me the grain, lady. It's a good thing that we have really nice neighbors on both sides. They're retired. They both travel a lot. Thank goodness. But they bring their grandkids over and play with the baby goats and everything. They are so nice, but I swear, I like, when she does this, when she screams, I just put her in the barn. I don't want her driving me and everybody in the neighborhood crazy. See, they have a sweet little sound. Listen to that. That's doable. Doable, doable, doable. Nightmare from hell. Did you guys know that Nubians are actually the loudest goat? But Luna is the quietest goat we've ever had. The only time I've ever heard her make a peep is when she pushed out one baby. She like sneezed, or she made like the tiniest little peep. Pushed out a baby. Other than that, quietest goat in the world right here. Same with Willow, totally quiet. I've been spoiled. I think that's the problem. Tilly's quiet. Like, I've had quiet goats for so many years.
Yeah, all 3 of these are quiet goats.
And then this little darling, Grace, are... I know, I hear ya.
Yeah.
I need to make a video to my future DaNelle and tell her, listen, I know you're trying to train them to the stand, but keep the grain to a minimum, DaNelle. Keep it to a minimum because they... Watch, here comes the loud one. Just a little bit. We gotta wean you off, girl. I know she'll stop screaming. They always do once they realize that the screaming's not gonna get them more grain. But, oh my goodness. This girl is addicted. Good thing is her kids are not loud. So I'm grateful for that. She didn't pass it on. All right guys, you're not gonna be very happy about this, but little Smudge, I've decided, I know I said I might consider keeping him as a buck. I decided no. I don't think I want his dam's genetics sprinkled throughout my herd. So he's gonna go as a pet, and in fact, I had somebody interested in a bottle-fed baby. So I said yes, and I'm letting him go because we've got lots of kids here and we've got more kids due really soon. It's gonna be even more mayhem. So it's sometimes nice to get the little ones off to their new homes, the big ones. He's 4 weeks now, 5 weeks. He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
He's drinking all the milk out of my fingers too.
Yeah, that's what happens to the boys. They leave as pets.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Big boy.
But he'll do good in his new home. He loves bottles, he loves kids, and this family is really, really excited to bottle raise a goat. So that's what's gonna happen. The other boys here, they will also go as pets, except for him. This one's not gonna go as a pet. But all the other ones, they're not gonna be turned into breeding bucks because I really need to prove out the mothers. I need to make sure that they have the best genetics possible and the best udder possible. It has to be a buck that I'd be willing to buy in order to go as a buck to a new home.
If it was DaNelle, she would keep all the goats every year and we would have 150 goats right now. But since
alas, we cannot
feed that many, so.
Yeah, after a while, I guess you get better at it. In the beginning, it's really, really hard to sell the babies, and then as each year goes on, you go, okay, it's a lot of work to take care of them. I can't keep this many. They need to go to a new home, and then you kind of get over it. But Mr. Smudge is pretty cool. He's a sweet little guy. He loves boots. He just loves boots. We have to tell his new family that.
And pushing his head against your leg.
You love that boot? Maybe we'll send him home with a boot.
Yeah.
I think we might need to let Cricket eat last. At first I thought, you know, she would get over it.
Yeah.
And now... Okay, hold on. Will she stay? If she stays, she gets to stay. You get to stay if you stay there. The second you get off, though, you're done.
Hey, not you!
Oh, no! I think that they just maybe all do it then. They all just do it. This is how it is. Babies gotta fight for their milk. Here, come over here. There's some ones over here. You can see that Cricket and Smudge are the biggest. Also, Twyla over here is pretty big, but she's not trained to it yet. See, so she's pretty big. And then we've got all the rest. Let's see. See, Wednesday is actually not... She's not weak. She still fights for it. And she still gets milk. But I sometimes wonder if she's just like, I'm just a little baby, and she just also wants to drink from us. So it might be that she's just more stubborn, because she's definitely getting the milk. Kevin's already pulling away the fat ones. I was gonna say you should suck on it to see if the flow is good. No, I'm not gonna make you do that. That's gross, guys. That's gross.
How's your tummy?
You want to eat from me now? Because you think I'm going to be easier? Yeah, I don't think so. I think you need to go back over there and drink from the big bucket.
Here, look.
Go over there.
These are my fingers, look.
I'm so much more...
Yes.
She knows she doesn't have to suck as much because the bottle just pours into her mouth. I think that might be it. She's just a little bit more, because she's pretty feisty. So a couple of you raised concerns about Wednesday, and I've actually thought a lot of the same things. It is concerning. You wonder, should I really keep this as a breeding doe? And I guess my concern is with selling Wednesday is that I don't want to pass off something that's not desirable to a potential buyer. So I think I would rather take the risk and raise her up, even if I end up not breeding her and having to sell her as a pet when she's older. I think it's still better that I raise her up and see if this is just, you know, genetics, because River is a tiny bit smaller than the other. She's not that much smaller, just a little bit, more petite. or if it's something like concerning. But she's never been, aside from the first day, she's never been super weak. She's been a hungry little monster with lots of energy, lots of crazy wanting to eat a lot. She's just a little bit smaller. I think she like has been babied so much that she thinks that she's gonna get food from us. And so she thinks she gets the, you know, princess treatment, because her belly is getting full from eating from the bucket. So if she was really small or really weak, that would give me the most concern, but I don't see that with her. I think what I'll do is I'll raise Wednesday up. We'll see how she does. If this fall she doesn't do well, maybe I don't breed her. Maybe I sell her as a pet. Maybe I give her another year before I breed her. I don't know. I just really love the genetic combination between Lancelot and River, and I would like to see what happens. So we're gonna watch and wait. Did you find the hay over there? It's time for her to eat. She has still not been taking the bottle, little stinker. So we have to bring her little half-sister on the stand to feed her. So River has already been feeding her half-sister Twyla, but she doesn't like to. So we have to get River on the stand first. I know. You just dropped. No, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Come up here. Come eat some treats. Okay, go up there. Oh, she's a stinker. She is really attached to drinking from Mama, and she won't take a bottle from us. So I have to bring her on the stand, let her drink from her half-sister, and just watch closely. Make sure she doesn't ruin this udder. Be careful. I know, this is... I could bring Reba up. She might be a little more up for it. In the past, what we've done is we've snuck a bottle in and covered the teat and, well, let go of it, and snuck a bottle in like this. But she's really smart. And she has not been able, we haven't been able to do that trick with her. Let's try it again.
Okay, I'm trying again. Okay, go on.
Do it right here. She's doing it. Hold still, hold still, hold still. Oh my gosh, it's working.
We tricked you.
Oh, she drank it all. Keep going, tip it up. Oh. Good
We
job. We
tricked
tricked you.
you.
Okay. All right. Give River a break here. Hold on. Now, Twyla was hybrid raised, which means she got some from her dam and some from the bottle. But for the last 3 days, she's been sneaking in with the dam at night and not taking the bottle. So it's just a bad habit. And the reason why I want her to take the bottle is obviously because she needs to still be on a bottle for another few weeks. But also, I would like to ensure that she's friendly. She's already friendly right now. But I've had experiences in the past where if they're not real, if they're not really attached, if they're not really attached, if they're not really attached, if they're not really attached to you, then they can get wild. Okay, last week I prepped this row for tomatoes and now we're ready to plant. And no, I did not grow my tomatoes from scratch. Now I have a special trick to growing tomatoes. First, you dig a big hole. Then you throw pretty much every fertilizer at it, because you want nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You want all those 3. This is especially a good trick in Arizona because we get so hot that it's important to plant our tomato plants really deep. See all these little fuzzy things? These are all going to turn into roots, and so I can plant this all the way up to here. We don't usually get blight, so I don't have to worry about that as much, but I can plant it all the way down like that. I might even take this dude off. Let's see. Do I want to do that? Yes, I do. So we're going to plant him all the way down. I probably could have gone a little bit deeper, but that's good. Right there. Now, in the past, we've put a fish head in the bottom of each tomato plant, but it's just koi and I'm not really in the mood to fish in order to plant my tomatoes. So I'm not gonna do that today. All right, my tomatoes are all planted, and then I laid down the dripper lines and made sure that they worked, because they always break every year, always. But I just need one more thing to make this perfect. Watch out. I just need a little bit of this. Watch out. Watch out. Oh, that's dusty. Watch out. Watch out. Thank you. Watch out. Okay, I lied. I just need one more thing, and then this row is gonna be perfect. Now we have a lot of these pill bugs or creepy crawlies. Now we called them potato bugs growing up, but I think some people call them roly-polies. I don't know. We have a lot of them in the garden, and instead of trying to spray or get rid of them, which is pretty much impossible, we're gonna lay down some orange halves, and that's gonna attract them and keep them away from my new, fresh, young tomato and pepper roots. It works out perfectly because when we're ending the citrus season here, we're just beginning the tomato season. So I have plenty of leftover oranges that are just about to start getting dry, and so they're gonna help me keep these bugs away. All right, guys, we are done, and we're ready to eat a ton of tomatoes here in the summer. It's time to fill the honey jar. I've got it all clean and ready to go. In case you guys are wondering, we're about halfway through. I think it's been 2 or 3 years maybe since we bought the honey bucket. Since honey never expires, this is a tradition in my family. Growing up, we always had a 5-gallon bucket of honey somewhere, and it is nice to have a sweetener sitting in your pantry that you can use for years and years. The only trick is we got to get it into this little jar. So it's kind of a messy job, but here's how I do it. The good thing is it's the winter, so there's some solidified honey on the bottom. I'm gonna see if I can try to scoop that up. There we go. See? Easy. This honey is raw, local, and unfiltered, so it may have a few little specks or maybe a bee in there somewhere, but it does wonders for our seasonal allergies. All right, I think we're about there. I don't want to do too much. Oh my gosh, perfect. And that's how you fill a honey jar. Cricket, come here. Cricket. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video. I'm gonna show real quick who I'm going to keep this year. So we've got Cricket. She's gonna be the Tilly experiment. And the reason why I'm doing the Tilly experiment is because Tilly comes from a really old line. Tilly comes from one of the original lines of Nigerian dwarfs that were brought here from Africa in the 1980s. So I think it's kind of interesting to see if I can improve that. The only problem is I sort of did it wrong. I bred Tilly to a bunch of different bucks, thinking that I could just get enough improvement with that. And at some point I had to realize, no, I gotta just keep one of the dolings and then choose to go through that line. So that's what I'm doing now. So we've got Cricket, right? She's our experiment. Next, we have Wednesday. I want to keep Wednesday for the reasons I mentioned earlier in this video, but mostly because I really like Wednesday, I really like Lancelot, and I want to see what comes of it. So Wednesday's gonna stay. Now, between the Winona and the Reba kids, this was a tough one, but I settled on Duchess. She's just so long, level, nice long neck. She's wide. She has a nice high, wide escutcheon. Could she end up being exactly like Winona as far as not having the best attachments? Yes. But Lancelot's dam has really good attachments, his mama. So maybe guys, we got it with her. We'll see. And no, she's not loud like Winona. That's a plus. Then we have Twyla here, who is actually the one that I purchased this year. And I actually put her lineage wrong on the screen when I was doing it. I must have been too tired or whatever. But you can see her on my website. You can see the correct lineage. But yeah, she's a half sister to River. We're really excited about her. And that's it. I'm not gonna keep Kitty or Junebug or Birdie. Sorry, I know some of you, those are your favorites. They were hard. It was hard to decide, but I think I've got the best in mind. Next year, I plan to breed Reba to a very special buck, and hopefully I can retain a doeling out of her since I love Reba so much. And the plan is to not keep any Daphne kids. You guys gotta hold me to it. Because I have, even though I love Daphne and I tend to like to keep a lot of her kids, I have a big reservation list, and I'd like to fulfill that reservation list this year and hopefully she has a lot of doelings and I can get them to people who really want a Daphne daughter, and then I can focus on, you know, maybe keeping one next year. You know, I have other doelings in the future I'm sure that I can keep. All right, we're gonna be getting ready for Daphne's kidding coming up in a week or so. We'll see you guys next time.